Hi guys! I lied. The same day as the other videos, I really wanted to see what happened next. And I'm like, not even kidding too. Okay, so in the last episode, she, was like, I can't sleep because I'm hungry. I didn't even have my emergency chocolate bar anymore. You don't? What happened? Oh, that's right. She gave it to the Count. I almost said Duke. Wrong one. Alright, I quietly made my way out of my room and down the corridors, trying to remember the exact route the Count had taken from the team room to the kitchen. When I found the familiar double doors, I immediately pushed them open and switched on the lights. I quickly began gathering ingredients for my midnight snack. Who does this? I don't mean like that. Who does this, in my view? I do this. That's what I'm getting at. I do this. Who else does this? Phrased that question really poorly. Are you trying to steal my food? It's the Phantom! I quickly spun around to see Eric standing at the entrance. No, I'm making a midnight snack. With that many ingredients, it's not a snack. It's a 5-course meal. Okay, a midnight meal then. I see. What are you doing up anyway? I couldn't sleep. I'm giving him a different voice because he's not being fabulous right now. Me too, although I can't sleep because I'm hungry. Are you hungry? I'm probably making too much anyway, so you can eat with me. That reminds me, Edward said you asked him to eat with you. Edward? Who's he? He was your clue the day before yesterday. Oh, him! Yes, him. Was there any particular reason? I don't like eating alone. I see. In that case, I would be honored to eat with you. What? My apology. Oh, he didn't say eat with you. I would be honored to eat you. My apologies. I meant eat with you. Oh, in that case, thank you. I think I should be thanking you. I am, after all, getting a meal out of this. He took a seat at the counter while I prepared our meal. I was just putting on the finishing touches when he spoke again. You look very much at home here. I've spent a lot of time in kitchens. I can see that. And done. I placed the plates on the... I should hire you. Yeah, if I ever cook for someone, it means they're very special to me. I don't even cook for myself. I just kind of walk into the kitchen and do hocus pocus and food appears. I'm just kidding. I can cook cake. I can make cake. But when I bake, food turns out gnarly looking. I'm not even kidding. The food that I make looks absolutely terrifying. I just realized something. I don't have a cheat guide set up. Don't judge me! Mostly for the puzzles, okay? I think we're on to this one. We're on the Count. Good. Yep. Don't judge me. But yeah, seriously though, my food that I make looks absolutely atrocious, but tastes amazing. Which I don't know which one I think I prefer this one for it to taste amazing, but people are always so scared to eat my food because it looks like it's gonna kill them. I'm a very generous employer. As long as my orders are taken care of, they can do what they wish. That's another thing. They follow your orders to a T. I just don't know if I want to be tied down like that. But being tied down can... I ignored his comment and dug in. Well, let's see how it tastes. He took a tentative bite before digging in with gusto. This is really good. You could put a lot of world-famous restaurants I've dined at to shame, not to mention give my own cook a run for his money. Now you're just teasing me. No, I'm serious. Aw, shucks. You didn't have to go that far, but thank you, Eric. No, Darkovika, I should be thanking you for this midnight snack. After a meal this good, there's no way I'll have trouble sleeping. You know my name? Of course I do. It is my duty as host to be aware of all who participate in my games. So you know I'm nothing special then. On the contrary, I think you're quite special. Your presence has made this game interesting. But I haven't done anything. Then perhaps this is one of your skills. My skills? You mean the cooking? He let out a low chuckle. I tilted my head, wondering why his laugh seemed so... The Count! They're the same person! Wondering why his laugh seemed so familiar. Yes, the cooking. We both finished our meals, and I put the plates in the dishwasher. I never even, He's the Count?! Thanks for eating with me. No, thank you. I quite enjoyed spending time with such a cute Kippy. Oh, that's her costume. No wonder the girls go crazy for him. Good night, Darkovika. Good night, Eric. Or maybe they are brothers. I have no idea. I woke up much later than normal the next day thanks to my midnight snack. Today's another rest day. I don't really feel like going out, but I'm not in the mood to laze all day either. I'll just go check on Mr. Bandages. I asked a servant to show me the way to his room. I might have been bored, but I wasn't in the mood to get lost. Which could happen, I imagine. I entered his room to see the Count already standing next to his bed. Mr. Bandage's eyes flicked to me and he scowled. Not another one. Oh, he's Russian. I made his voice Russian. Be nice. Bite me. Is that an offer? I'm cursed, aren't I? That's the only explanation. Am I interrupting something? Nothing important, I assure you. My rest! Both of you are interrupting my rest! Like I said, nothing important. Mr. Wolf chose that moment to enter the room. I guess everyone else thought to check on you too, Mr. Bandages. He let out an exaggerated groan. Why won't you people leave me alone? Because you shouldn't have to be alone when you're sick. What if I want to be alone? Mr. Wolf looked away before changing the subject. I didn't notice before, but this room is bigger than mine. Naturally. It needs to fit his ego, after all. Any response Mr. Bandages would have given was cut off by a knock at the door. That must be lunch. Mr. Wolf opened the door and a servant wheeled in a cart filled with more food than Mr. Bandages could eat, sick or not. That's way too much for you to eat alone, so we'll join you. You did this, didn't you? Now why would I do a thing like that? The Count took a plate from the tray, placed some food on it, and handed it to a glaring Mr. Bandages. Then the Count turned to look at us. Isn't anyone else going to eat? Mr. Bandages would... I don't care. This is enough for me. It's hard to switch from accents, man. Taking that as permission, we each grabbed a plate and started piling food on. We had just finished eating when the tone for announcement Good day, everyone! It is I, your host! Who did he think we were expecting? People have been complaining about me making changes. Changes they wanted, mind you. So I have to come to... He's come to a few decisions. The next 2 days will be tasks like the original ones. There will no longer be the option of skipping them and receiving points. There will then be a rest day and 2 more tasks. The day after will be our grand masquerade ball and the winning team will be announced. Oh, that was attractive. Those are my terms. I promise that they won't be changed and that this problem will never come up in this event again. That is all. Thank you! The tone signal... Look how upset he is. The tone signaling the end of the announcement played. Mr. Bandages is upset. There, aren't you glad? No more skipping. And don't tell me you missed what he... Oh no, I caught that. But there's nothing we... Like hell there isn't! Calm down. This isn't good for your health. How do you expect me to be calm after that? After what? Eric just laid out the rules. He promised this problem will never come up again. So? Eric would never promise something like that unless he was completely sure of it. And there's only one way he could be sure it would never happen again. By making it impossible. So what you're saying is that he's not going to have any more of these events? Exactly! So we won't be able to come here and spend time like this next year. Forget that! I still haven't won! Mr. Bandages stood up and walked towards the door. Where do you think you're going? I'm going to confront Eric. There's no way I'm going to sit here and do nothing. Oh wait, wrong accent. Whatever. You heard him. His decision has been made. There is nothing we can do. Like hell there isn't! Calm down. I'm going to confront Eric and you can't stop me. He flung open the door and stalked out. Mr. Bandages, wait up! Mr. Wolf hurried after him. I guess we should help Mr. Wolf make sure Mr. Bandages doesn't overexert himself. I'll leave that to the 2 of you. You're not coming with us? I have better things to do than watch him throw a hissy fit. I shrugged and left the room, not wanting to lose track of Mr. Bandages and Mr. Wolf. Thankfully, they didn't get far, because Mr. Wolf was trying to pull Mr. Bandages back to the room. Do you know where we're going? Of course I do! He has no sense of direction. So why have we passed that same vase twice? It's not the same vase, it's just similar. No, I'm pretty sure it's the same one. It's got a bit of a crack running down. Mr. Wolf cut himself off when he saw the murderous look on Mr. Bandage's face. Eric has him on, like, GPS because he got lost 1 year and refused to call anyone for help, and Eric had to send out all of his servants to go looking for him. You find that out in his storyline. I'm just going to ask that servant for directions. Don't you dare! I ignored him and walked up to the servant. Hi, could you take us to Mr. Voldemar's room? Guests aren't allowed in his room. We won't go in. We just want to see where it is. Please? Okay, follow me. I turned back to Mr. Bandages. Now you can either come with me or keep going around in circles. Your call. I feel like she should have just done this. That's what I would have done. Fine. We followed the servant through the halls until we came to an ornate door. This leads to Mr. Voldemar's private quarter. Hey, Eric! Get out here right now! Mr. Bandage's shout attracted the attention of another servant. Master Voldemar isn't in there right now. Then where the hell is he? I'm not sure. Then find him and bring him to me. Maybe we should come back late. No, I'm not leaving until I get a chance to tell Eric what I think about his latest announcement. Which, because they're best friends, Eric would care. Sir, please calm down. I will not calm down! Really, Mr. Bandages, I'm starting to think the only reason you attend is to harass my staff. And there's Eric. We turned to see Eric Voldemar walking towards us while tying his cape. He took his mask from his butler and put it on before turning to face us again. Now, what was it that was so important that you felt the need to shout outside my door? What did you think you were doing? Well, I was taking a nap in the gardens before you so rudely started shouting. That's not what I meant, and you know it. That announcement... Oh, that. Yes, that. Did you really think I'd take that lying down, as hard as this may be for you to believe this has nothing to do with you? The hell it doesn't. I have yet to win any of these silly If they're so silly, then you should be glad that you won't have to suffer another year of them. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other things to do. He turned on his heel and walked away, but Mr. Bandages wouldn't have it. He strode after Eric. Don't you dare walk away from me while I'm talking to you! Mr. Wolf and I exchanged a worried look before hurrying to catch up with the two taller men. I don't see what we still have to discuss. I've made my decision, and if you're so determined to win at least once, then you should focus on that, not me. This is your last chance, after all. Eric took a turn into one of the halls, and the heads of the occupants all swerved toward us. Don't think I'm dropping this just because you decided to make it public. You made it public with all your shouting. I'm simply attending to my duties as host. He began his descent down the stairs to the hall as though this was nothing out of the ordinary. Mr. Bandages stopped at the top of the stairs, so Mr. Wolf and I did as well. Drop this idiotic act and listen to me for once! Eric froze not even halfway down the stairs. After a moment, he squared his shoulders and turned around to face Mr. Bandages. The entire hall seemed to be holding their breath in anticipation of Eric's response. When he did speak, his voice was low and controlled. You... People leaned in closer as they strained to hear what he was saying. A sudden jostle caused me to lose my balance. As I started falling, time seemed to slow down to the point where I could see Eric's eyes widen. The next thing I knew, he was catching me in his arms. Before I could even feel an ounce of relief, I felt Eric shift. He was taking a step back to compensate for the momentum, but there was no floor behind him. I gasp! His action had us both falling downwards. I closed my eyes and braced myself, only to have them fly open when I felt my face collide with a hard object. I'm sure you can see where this is going. Yep, Eric's face. For a moment, I was too shocked to even realize we had stopped falling. Eric didn't seem to have the same problem, though, as he turned his head to face our savior, his butler. Impeccable timing, as always. Do be careful, Master Voldemar. Eric looked down at me questioningly. Are you okay, Miss Archer? Apart from a pain in the jaw? Yeah. I'm terribly sorry about that. The sound of people murmuring brought our attention to the fact his arms were still loosely wrapped around me. Eric abruptly let go of me and turned to face his butler fully. Please see to it that these stairs are redone or hire an exorcist. That's the 5th time I've almost tumbled down them this month. There's no way that's normal. Of course, Master Voldemar. A worried Mr. Wolf made his way to us. Are you okay, Miss Archer? Yeah, my jaw's just a bit sore, that's all. You should probably get that checked out. Mr. Bandages, you know where the on-site doctor is, right? I mean, you were just there recently, thanks to your swim in the lake. Could you take her there? Do it yourself. You're the host. I would, but I have other matters to see to. Still, if you're adamant about not doing it, I can just get one of my staff to do so. I just thought you might want to, seeing as this only happened because you were throwing a tantrum. I'll go. I need to pick up some more pain relievers anyway. Then it's settled. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll take my leave. Mr. Wolf and I followed Mr. Bandages through the corridors until we reached a sliding door. If you're wooing any of the other two guys, they freak the hell out right now. Like, Mr. Wolf, like, pretty much burst into tears and ran off down a hallway, and then Mr. Bandage got super mad super fast and just, like, dragged you off. This is the on-site doctor's office. Having said that, he opened the door and walked inside. I'm here for pain meds. I thought you were only coming for those later. I was, but then Miss Archer fell down the stairs, so I figured I'd just kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The doctor immediately ushered me into the room and onto one of the beds. Where does it hurt? Did you hit your head? My pain meds? The doctor shoved a container in Mr. Bandage's hand and shoved him out the door. Right, now you were saying? I'm fine, it's just my jaw that's a bit sore. She fell and kissed Mr. Voldemar. Oh my! Kissed? Yeah, your lips and his met and most painful kiss I've ever had. I like her. Right, well it doesn't sound like anything too bad. Still, to be on the safe side, you should probably stay here for a while. As for you, Mr. Wolf, is it? Unless you have any injuries, it may be best that you leave Miss Archer to get some rest. Oh, okay. Feel better soon, Miss Archer. I'll try to. The doctor handed me a tablet and some water. This should help with the pain. Thanks. I downed the medication before snuggling under the covers and falling asleep. When I woke up, the first thing I noticed was the Count reading in a chair by my bedside. The second thing I noticed was that the doctor wasn't in the room. Where? He's off searching for Eric. Someone let slip that he also fell down those stairs. Ah, wait, how do you know about that? Gossip travels fast. I hear that you kissed Eric and I missed it. I almost regret not tagging along. So how was it? How was what? The kiss. Looking at the answers. Is that what people are calling it? Is that really the answer? They both seem so ambiguous. Isn't that what it was? Your lips met, and yeah, they met. They met hard. I may as well have collided with the floor. His head was certainly hard enough. I take it that you didn't enjoy it then. Would you enjoy smashing your face into a hard object? I guess not. Well, consider it a learning experience. What? Collisions hurt? No, chasing after Eric will only get you hurt. I wasn't chasing after him. I wouldn't throw myself down the stairs for any guy, no matter how hot he is. He let out a low chuckle. The other day you said he was creepy, and now he's hot. Those are not mutually exclusive. He can be hot and creepy, and this is extremely true, although I don't quite think of him as creepy anymore. Because he saved you from plummeting down the stairs. No, not just that. Oh? I met him. He wasn't quite what I expected. Oh? How so? He wasn't the flashy guy that did the opening speech. He was more real. I kind of like the guy behind the mask. It's him. It's him! We've never seen them in the same place! He kind of reminded me of you, though. I'm honored to be compared to the great Eric Voldemar. You're doing that again. Doing what? Hiding behind a mask. Why did the two of you do it? For a moment, he looked at me inquisitively. Then he leaned in close and whispered softly in my ear. Sometimes it's easier to be someone you're not. Oh, wait, excuse me. Let me take off the accent for this one. Sometimes it's easier to be someone you're not than be rejected for who you are. With that, he got up with a huge smile on his face. I'm glad you're feeling better, Miss Archer. Please don't take any more tumbles downstairs. Although, if you really want to throw yourself at a man, I'll be happy to welcome you with open arms. Now, I'll leave you to rest before the doctor returns and kicks me out. Or finds Eric Voldemar hiding among the actors. When I woke up the next day, the first thing I noticed was a lack of pain in my jaw. Yes! I just finished getting ready when the tone for an announcement rang out. Good morning! I know some people are still abuzz over yesterday's events, but I ask that everyone put that aside to focus on today's task. I think everyone if not the task, then the scenery of today's events. That's right! Today's tasks are all outdoors tasks. One of my staff will lead you to your team's starting point. That's all. Good luck! Outdoors? Sounds like fun. I opened my door to see a man waiting outside. If you'll follow me, we could go to where your teammates are waiting. I followed him through the corridors and out of the mansion. A blast of cold air had me wrapping my arms around myself. It snowed last night? It would seem that way, wouldn't it? He led me to where Mr. Wolf, Mr. Bandages, and the Count were already assembled. And answers. The man pulled an envelope from his coat pocket and handed it to me. And go back to the other answers, because I don't know what I'm doing. Ah, we're here. This is your clue. Breakfast should be along shortly. Having said that, he bowed and left. It wasn't even a minute before another man was wheeling a breakfast cart toward us. Miss Archer, how are you feeling today? Much better. The ache in my jaw is completely gone. That's good to hear. What's the clue say? We'll get to that after we eat. The food won't stay hot for long in this weather. The sooner we get it done, the sooner we can get back inside where it's warm. Food first. Fine. Once we finished eating, I opened the envelope and pulled out the clue. A gust of wind almost ripped it from my hands, but I held on. This wind is really strong. The clue? Right. It says, find one standing tall and still. Find another of same face and realize that nothing is identical. There's also this map. Let me see that. He snatched it out of my hand. The Count snatched it back. With all due respect, I don't trust you with our only map. My navigational skill will probably be far more helpful. It is actually one of his skills. Can I see it? Of course. The Count handed it over easily. You trust him with it, not me. Yes. Why, you... How about I decide who should keep the map? I am the leader, after all. That's a splendid idea. Yeah, you should decide. He handed the map back to me. I think I sneezed, stopping me from voicing my decision. It's freezing out here. Oh, jump into my arms and I'll warm you up. I looked at him questioningly for a moment. Sure, why not? Wow, she doesn't do that to the other ones. I wrapped my arms around his waist and pressed close, trying to absorb as much warmth from him as I could. I didn't actually expect that to work. Don't be foolish. We can't have you sticking to someone throughout the game just because you're cold. It'll slow us down. Well, we can't just leave her to freeze. Yeah, I'd offer to trade costumes, but I know. Here, Miss Archer, you can use my cape. And she's adorable. He quickly removed his cape and helped me put it on. Let's just get on with this game. Is that jealousy I detect? What do I have to be jealous of? Well, for one thing, you're still freezing. I've had to put up with worse than this for on-location shoots. Let's just get this over with already. All right, Miss Archer, you were going to say who should keep the map. Right, I think... Quick save! The Count should keep the map. Thank you for placing your faith in me. I won't let you down. The Count looked at the map for a moment before setting off at a sedate pace. We had no choice but to follow him. It looks like there's something located close to here. If we follow the creek, we should get to it with no problems. Mr. Bandages looked over the Count's shoulder at the map. Are you sure that's a creek? Yes, please don't try to take an impromptu swim in it. I don't think the doctor would be very happy if you had a relapse. We all followed the Count until we reached a small creek. He even froze the creek. He? You mean Eric? You didn't honestly think this was natural, did you? Even the trees are stripped of their leaves, and they were fine before. So this cold and snow is all artificial? Oops. Why would he do that and then give us an outdoor task? Everything is so pretty covered in snow, isn't it? It looks so much cleaner. Pure, even. I guess so. Let's just keep moving. Artificial cold is still cold. Ah, it's a Kippy statue! We have to remember what this looks like and then choose the differences in the next statue. We trekked on and found ourselves faced with a white statue of Kippy. Kippy again? Again? Yeah, the sliding puzzle from the first task was of Kippy. Well, Eric does have ties to keep her ink, and Kippy is cute. Find one standing tall and still. Do you think the clue refers to this statue? It says find another, so there's probably another statue for us to find as well. Probably. Looks like there's an inscription down here. He dusted the snow that was covering the inscription before reading it out loud. The twins they stood side by side, and no one could tell them apart. And so they thought with lingering sadness, if others could not see what's inside, they would have to change that on the outside. On the outside? Maybe it's a reference to the clothes and ornaments? The normal Kippy doesn't have those. Yeah, so they changed the clothes and ornaments on the statues so people could tell them apart. Oops, it's 23 minutes. We'll have to find out what happens in the next video. I will see you guys in a flash.